Joyride. Thanks to Ntokozo, and we are sorry for a late beginning of our show. As we know that we got up and go for particular technical issues. Then now we are here for you. This is Car Radio, available online as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as well. Car TV on YouTube. Even now we are live and on our Facebook. We are also live. So welcome everyone. Hopefully everyone is good after voting. After voting, politicians, they used to say, if you are voting, you have your voice. That is where your voice can be really heard. But again, as long as we because the most of the time, what we experience, after voting, we have no voice. The most of us, like if you can speak like after voting, is listening, sometimes we even protest to show that is just because we needed to take our actions. Sometimes I see so long after why did we do this? Like banning schools, banning the roads, banning our community infrastructures. Our government is not listening to us. So let's just stop the road. So thereby if bashisa umgwaqo, after chasing umgwaqo so that's how their voices can be heard. So we are really trusting ukuthi ama politicians ethu since evoteliwe indaweni ezishintshile esizwile ukuthi nala eThekwini umngeni iDA ahamba phambili, and also ke iZululand nje ngathi ke iIFP ihamba phambili kakhulu lapho. Futhi ke kukuhle ukubona ushintsho because ayisina abantu bethe bevota abasavotela ushintsho. Futhi ke omasipala abaningi lapha bangaphansi kweANC, so abantu bafuna ushintsho. So I think iyasenza lento yokuvota ukuthi after voting ubone ushintsho. Yeah, and then also ke sibonge bonke osopolitiki ke abaparticipate so that benze i-politics industry, or I can say politics ibe entertaining and ibe nama challenges to one another, and also ibe competition, of which is good ngoba wonke umuntu ke wenza weshow ukuthi ke asonke isikhathi mayefuna deliver ngempela ama izinto esuke ithembisile. So we are hoping ukuthi ke this time around everything will just happen in a very good way, of which is ke kubalekile kakhulu ukuthi ke abantu basebeyofakile amava abo benike ama politicians a reply ngendlela eyona. So having said that, it is Tuesday today. It is 2nd of November. So now we are in the beginning of the new month, of which is again September nyanga erise kakhulu sinike nemvula ikhona, of which is engeneleke isama. So welcome to Durban. If maybe you are not from Durban, you are other provinces, but you are willing to have some fun in the holiday time, welcome to Durban. Durban is a beautiful place to be, so you can spend your holiday here. Kwazeke sesabhekana nesimo se-looting and also kumnotho wethu la KwaZulu Natal awuhambe ngendlela esifunayo. So ngaleyo ndlela leyo ke we are hoping ukuthi ke then ke ungakwazi nawe ukuthi ke thatha indlela uze khona ngala KwaZulu Natal ukuze ke umnotho wethu unyuke. But you gotta check here today as uyazi ukuthi ke izimo kanjani, izimo zikanjani. It's a career wise Tuesday, but ke so was check lapha na kwi-politic career ukuthi ke i-politic career ithinta kanjani ukuphila kwethu as singabantu base South Africa. Remember ukuthi awade kuvota kanje as kushintsha municipality, a lot of things they would change, especially kuma big metros, municipalities, all those places izinto eziningi ziyashintsha. So of which ke indlela esiphila ngayo it's including politics. Even in Christianity industry there is ukuthinteka when it comes to a politician, because banama rules abawabekayo concerning ama-religious ngokuhlukana kwawo. So wonke umuntu uyathinteka when it comes to i-politics, ishakeka. It's either kuyavotwa noma kunezimpi ezikhona, or else kunesifo esikhona, or else kunokushintsha kwezemfundo, but i-politics always there. As ukuthi ke all over the country we've been led by politicians. So I don't know who structured this structure, so with our politicians are the one who has to lead a country. But again, I grew up with politicians a leader of which again organization a state of which we control the economy. So I want us to check and go deeper in terms of how will this affect us as a community, our politicians as they are taking our political careers. But when I check as well as I'm voting, I look busy announce amanye sabalwa in terms of local government elections that was happening yesterday. I'm hoping to be happy the time you were going there and you're now by voting. Actually, this is the chance. This is the only chance we have in South Africa to raise our voice. Other than that, I don't think we have enough voice to speak. As I've said earlier on, sometimes we even take izinto such as protest, very vandalized. So we strike it because so better ngempela instead of having a peaceful march. But again, let's bheke ukuthi ama top stories as kanjena kwenzakalani osukwini namhlanje. So let's bheke lana ukuthi the National Prosecuting Authority as well NPA has added additional charges against former African National Congress or MP Vincent Smith. So Smith fraud and corruption case returned to a Palm Ridge Magistrate Court on Tuesday, where it was postponed to next year. So the NBA said that the final indictment now included tax fraud, money laundering, and breaching of Financial Intelligence Center Act. So you got that here. Charles Smith allegedly received money from Bosasa, brought his company Eurobliss 48. So the state claims the payment were corruptly given and received as improper investment to influence Smith to use his political influence to favor Bosasa. So the NPA sindisiwe Seboka said through investigation were since added charges, tax evasion charges as well as money laundering charges, because we've since found out he's got 28 million rands undisclosed to the taxman. So that forms part of final investment which we presented to court today. So meanwhile, the case against former Bosasa COO Angelo Agrizi has been postponed to 2 December for a medical examination to be done. And then also check out with this, okay, let's come to implement stage 2 power cut from 4 p.m. on Tuesday. So Johannesburg, Eskom will implement stage 2 rolling power cut from 4 p.m. on Tuesday until 5 a.m. on Wednesday. So on Tuesday morning, the power utility warned that the power grid was under pressure after 2 units tripped and 2 more units were forced offline. Eskom said that another unit at Kusile power station also tripped, while 2 other units failed to return to service as anticipated, placing the power system under more pressure. Yeah? Because sometimes abantu basemabhizinisi in the most, especially amabhizinisi amancane, yona affecteka ngempela ke into nekanje, because sometimes ezinye izinto futhi mhlawumbe izinto zabo ezibandayo like inyama, ama-fridge abo are not strong enough to hold maybe even 24 hours ebanda. So in that way ukudla kuya kwi-waste of which ke kuyaphazamisa kakhulu, and siyazi ukuthi osomabhizinisi abancane esiningi ke bona bangabantu abangabhekelela kakhulu. You see, so we used to have ama-ads or ama-advertisements whereby they are telling us ukuthi if you are willing to have some funds from government or from masipala or so and so, you need to, as a small business, apply this and send this to this and this and this and this, and there's email. Then when you are trying to send some of your documents, you find that actually the company is a qualifier. It's a company that it's a business that makes 50,000 per month, and then this is a small company. This is not a small business. That's the big business. If you are a small business, you can't make 50,000 per month. This is a big business, because that means if you can make 50,000 per month, that means you can even hire 10 people. You can be able to pay those people. You know, a lot of places sometimes they send half of their maybe of their profit to their stakeholders, but you can't tell that about 10. It's a small company, it's a small business. No, can't be like that. That's a big business. So I think there's a misunderstanding there. So if maybe you are losing a lot of your stuff concerning your electricity, then no one can pay you back. It's your loss. So it really affects small businesses more than big businesses. Because big businesses, they have their own sometimes back power. When they're using big data to power. So let's just continue to check on other one here. So the Democratic Alliance (ETA) in KwaZulu-Natal insists that those linked to the July violence in Phoenix are heroes. So the party has been largely criticized for its election campaigning posters in the township which read, "The ANC called you racist, then the DA called you heroes." So 36 people were killed in the area during a wave of unrest. So it was sparked by the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma. He was sentenced 15 months in prison after disregarded a constitutional court ruling that instructed him to appear and testify before the State Capture Commission. So Zuma has since been released. So at the time, looters went on campaign, damaging infrastructure, disrupting food production, and threatening water security. So several people were arrested following the Phoenix killing and are currently on trial. So the township, which is dominated by Indian communities, later became the highly contested political territory. So the Democratic Alliance put up its controversial election posters ahead of the municipal elections, but quickly removed them following public outcry. So its former MP and party campaign manager for Ekurhuleni Gauteng, Mike Waters, laid out its national leadership, described them as spineless and weak after they ordered that the posters be taken down. So Waters lambasted DA leadership in a letter he sent, among others, party leader Johnston Hampson and Federal Council Uche Helen Zille in October, in which he informed that he was quitting as their campaign manager for Ekurhuleni. So on Tuesday, the KZN leader Francois Rogers said the party stood by its word. He made the remark to journalists at the Independent Electoral Commission Result Operation Center in Durban. He said that, "I think we need to look at the history of Phoenix, and I think the history of Phoenix is quite simple. That the government failed the community of Phoenix, eThekwini, and the rest of the province during the unrest. And I think we all need to acknowledge that there were heroes and there were villains across our province. So Rogers further said that their numbers indicated that they will win Phoenix. Hey, the story listens in my phone. Okay, there's a woman dies at elevation or evading voting station after making her mark. That story. A 57-year-old woman passed away shortly after voting Innovation Central in Vaal on Monday. So Makusazana Shabalala waited in the queue with her spouse, Ufana Futi and Kabine, at the Saint Apostolic Church in Everton on Craddock Road to cast a vote. So Nkosy, as she is affectionately known in the community, campaigned of her pain before asking her spouse to get her water. Then collapsed and died at the voting station. She had spoken to her twin daughter, Tuli and Thabisile Shabala, over the phone in the morning, as she had planned to spend time with the grandkids after voting. And Thabisile told news that she called and said she was going to vote first, then come see us. And then she had planned to take the kids, her grandchildren, with her after voting. Then we got a call informed us she had fainted. While we were on our way to the church, we were told she had passed away. Yeah, we are sorry about that. So the grandmother attended an ANC rally a few days before election day, where President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed voters in the Sedibeng district. Everton Ward 19 Councillor Elias Mokwena and other Empuleni municipality officials have visited the family to offer their condolences. Yes. After voting, this is the thing to understand. After voting, then you die. We'll never know how we will die, but we trust Guru because we believe in him all the time. Okay? So let's check out the story and see which is in the land. You're still listening to Car Radio. We are here for you. As we are here for you, remember which this time around the Lemakaya and again, but sooner or later, we'll say we'll be going back to our studios because we really miss our studios, and we are hoping to do this together. I really miss studio. Studio is amazing. Studio is beautiful. Studio is nice. So I know we'll come back soon. And also, remember to follow us on our Facebook and on our Car Radio, and also follow us on our Twitter at Radio Car, Instagram Car Radio SA, and also YouTube with Radio and Car TV. So just simple like that. So yeah, as we are traveling to our home in this time of the hour, as you would be very traffic, we also do be a very cautious driver. And I was listening earlier on to Nxumalo concerning the patient. Yes, I was like, yes, she's doing a very wonderful topic this time. She was talking about in the patient. You know, if you can't be patient on the road, it's really doesn't give you long live on the road, because you're ending up crashing other cars, you're ending up crashing yourself, and you're ending up fighting with people. There are a lot of fights on the road. If you can go to YouTube and check with the fight on the road, fight of what drivers. There's a lot of scandals that are taking place on the road. They're too much, and they are unnecessary. So be patient. And I've learned that even to be patient, you just train yourself to be patient. Just train yourself, be patient. You see, it's just simple like that. You train yourself, you become patient, and once you become patient, you can be able to go far in life, because in life you need to be patient. Patient for people, patient for what you are waiting for, patient for the drivers on the road. If you are a parent, patient for your kids. If you are a pastor, become patient for your church. If you are a teacher, you become patient for your students. If you're a lecturer, etc., but you become patient all the time, you become a patient person. So that way, even if you are a man, you become patient even for your kids, for your siblings. So it's very good to be patient. This is a very important requirement that requires everyone in life to be easily prosper. I can say so, because prosperity with the patient, it goes hands to hand. Because if you are impatient, it's not easy for you to prosper, because you need to be patient all the time. At school, you need to be patient. Anything that you are trying to start, patience is needed. So all the time. This is a very good teaching that I was listening to today, and thanks to all of that one. I really appreciate, because I was just like, this is very important. It is much important, and if we can keep on being patient, a lot of things can be happen, and we'll be grateful of that one, and we'll gain a lot from that one. Okay, that's begila enye indaba la eqhubekayo ukuthi ke, as things look right now, the Democratic Alliance as on DA is in the lead in Emfuleni as African National Congress run municipality that was placed under administration in 2018 and is in debt to the tune of 4.5 billion rand. So the DA has so far around 27,000 counted votes, and so far about 19,000 residents has given the ANC a chance to govern the municipality, while nearly 8,000 voters have been counted for the Freedom Front Plus. And then the FF Plus, Jennifer Glover, specifically in Johannesburg, in Gauteng, they are looking at the Freedom Front Plus with tremendous growth at his point. So we are looking forward at building on our growth from 2019, and it seems like we put the work in and we're reaping the fruits at the moment. So yeah, Jennifer was telling me is in the So Emfuleni is home of around 700,000 people with an unemployment rate of 70%. And then the ANC denies that it is to blame for the state of municipality, even though it's been in power there since 1994. How do you call this? I'm part of a South African citizen, so even myself, I just become shocked from this time until today, and the other municipalities are just like this. So which is into est cool. Okay. So basically, then we go forward and check it again. Uzokwenzakalani namanye topic sanamhlanje. But we are talking about politicians, as they have their own career called politics. They even learning political science, and usithinta kanjani nalokho as a community, as we are being led by politicians. That's the sort of thing as well. Paris, 5 million people have died worldwide from COVID-19 since the disease first emerged in China nearly 2 years ago, according to tally from official sources compiled by AFP. So Monday, the milestone, nearly 4 months after 4 million deaths were registered, came even as mortality rates low, thanks to a global vaccine rollout that has been billions of people injected. That's what they are saying. So while the number of daily deaths worldwide fell below 8,000 for the first time in almost a year in mid-October, so there remains black spot globally. Okay. China in the 52 countries and territories that form the WHO European region, the mountain death toll is mainly coming from the east. So in Russia, a country with strong vaccine hesitancy, has been infected and death reach new records with average daily fatalities in excess of 1,000 since October 20. So, and according to the authorities themselves, this toll is largely underestimated. So, the government daily toll showed a total of 239,793 deaths as of 1 November. Okay, so however, National Statistics Agency, the Eurostat, which has broader definition of COVID deaths, said at the end of September that the toll was nearly 150,000. Okay, let's move further on and check the ukuthi kahle kahle ke le ndaba yepolitics isebenza kanjani. And ke what is politics? First thing first, for the South Africa, what is politics? What is to be a politic? Then you get qhubeka ngiyabo. And ngaleyo ndlela leyo because sibona ukuthi politics isebenza kanje and then sithinta kanjani. So asiqalana ke politics is the set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups or other form of power relations between individuals, such as distribution of resources or status. The branch of social science that studies politics and government is referred to be a political science. As I was saying, with the political science, iyenzeka uma ngakho uthola ukuthi ubalekile ukuthi mawungena kwe-career thizeni ungama-career ungawafundela, because when they are speaking ama-terms akhona, you need to understand ukuthi okay, this is the term. And what makes me very very sometimes being confused is that local councillors, local governments such as the councillor, the most of them, they didn't go for further education. They don't know even in the political science. They don't know how politics works. Just that they loved by people know them. Maybe they have a proper way of advertising or selling themselves. But they didn't go to school for political science, which is maybe is one of those things that makes our community a bit slower in terms of being achieved, because into South Africa it's intando yeningi. Yes, but what about intando yeningi umuntu ke ongafundanga noma onge-understand i-system akuyona ukuthi isebenza kanjani, because you can't promise people to build them houses, toilets, roads, but they don't know how does this work. Maybe like even the vision yeqembu osuke ungaphansi kwalo represent ukuthi okay, as I am the one who is maybe the councillor of PPP party, something like that, but the vision of iqembu lithini in 5 years or in 6 years different achiever in phela ukuthi umuntu uyilapho uyi-politician and ke engenayo political science, umuntu ongayifundanga into akuyona, of which nje ukusebenzisa amandla nokwaziyo, then mase kumele anikeze abantu iy'dingo zabo ngendlela eyiyona, or else asebenzisa ama-terms of looking for something from someone, or maybe from ama-metros amakhulu, or from the state itself. There's some certain terms, I think, or some certain way of writing a letter to send a proposal. Can you imagine nje uba yikhansela elingakwazi ukusebenzisa nje computer fundamentals akayazi, akwazi ukwenza nikho when it comes to access in computers akakwazi. So besifike ukuthi lo muntu engalida kanjani i-community, because i-community mawulide community ikanje, i-community ifana nesonto. When it comes to churches, in church there is abantu abafundile more than pastors, but to be a pastor is a calling, so they should sit down and listen to pastor, because that is a calling. And then also when it comes to leading the community, it can be a calling, leading a community, but it's you need to learn a lot of things such as public relation, communication. You need to know how to write, you need to know how to use computer, you need to have a multi skills so that you can be able to communicate with everyone. Because if kufika umuntu okholwayo ezokutshela ukuthi okay, we are looking for a land and we are looking up to looking to build up to a 20,000 seater. That is a huge, it's like more or less like a ground. Then when it comes to things concerning a church, we underestimate, but you are a leader of the community. So if you are a leader of the community, such as a counselor, you must be someone who is being able to religiously different types. We have a lot of people, a lot of religious around a community, but you need to have access and the communication towards everyone. And also, I think, as I was saying with public relation is very important, and also the communication is very, very important in terms of knowing and using your mindset. Okay, pastors, they can be able to bring people together. Then when a counselor, you can take a chance while abantu bephele bonke, then make appointment nomfundisi. I want to come to your church and talk about these things. Then it's easy. There is no need even to call umhlangana sometimes, because with the influence of more Christians in Ghana. Can just go there in their churches and with the memezelo. So I think all those things are skills, the communication, public relation, with the abantu bezwane nawe, abantu bezekwe. All those things are abantu ukuthi uyicancela kodwa ke awazi ukuxhumana nathi as a community. All those things ziyahlukumeza so ukuthi usizo lufunayo uthole. Lifuna icancela lekho office. Like my rural areas in Nishawe eNkanini, as a council behlala elokishini, but liranisa indawo esemakhaya. How come as a councillor you can be like as we are here in Inanda right now? So with councillor la Inanda, ihlala kuphi? Ihlala eMhlanga. Ihlala eMount Eshcol, ihlala eBhalito. No muntu umfani kanjani? Because the councillor should be someone who is around us, someone who we know where he stays. If it's dangerous, but he knows the time he's at school, it would be very dangerous to be in politics. Politics is something that is dangerous. So if you're prepared to uba with danger, then inkinga eyakhe. But you need the councillor as one office, which is from 9 to 12, no, from 9 to 4, some sort of office in Lak. If some sort of office in Lak, we need to have someone who can give us young as if now somebody right. So I can send you pick up to a councillor le IFP elapha konkanini sobona lapha nje show ngasho kanje, because anytime when you go to their offices they make sure ukuthi mofuna I proof of address you get it, even if there's no councillor, but they make sure ukuthi banabantu abasebenzayo to approve indawo sokuhlala kuyona, then ukwazi ukwenza into zakho, because it's very sad ukuthi uzofuna ukwenza something always find that awufice umuntu. But okay, is affecta kanjani le politics? Okay, the politics affects kanje. When it comes to politicians, when they make decisions, sometimes they make decisions that favors a future, but that doesn't favor the present moment. So that's how we are getting affected. In terms of when they are planning maybe in 10 years, we want to be able to create 1 million jobs. I want to find in this, like maybe in these 5 years, we'll be starving, we'll be suffocating, we'll be working hard, but we'll be maybe under pressure with a saving just because they are saving for your future. So like I remember President Thabo Mbeki, the time he was ruling in South Africa as a president, he was making sure we have a relationship with other countries, such as ubona ukuthi ebenza kakhulu uhwebo nabantu bakamanye amazwe enakela abanye abantu bakamanye amazwe more than us. There was a big complaint about that, but right now I just understand because I'm growing up and I was doing economics. So when it comes to ruling a country, you must have a relationship with other countries. So our rand as South Africans was so strong the time Thabo Mbeki was a president, just because he knew how to make a relationship with other countries, and that was boosting our rand as South Africa. But that's called us to suffer just because we was trying to make a business and make umnotho. So in that case, we are getting affected because we are the one who's starving, we are the one who protesting, we are the one who lacking of a lot of things. But if you are seeing the future, you can see it all the time. sasilamba la, the time imali yayinyuka la, the time udizil unyuka, the time ukudla kunyuka la, they were generating this such amount ukuthi in 5 years time they could be able to build imigwaqo sendaweni ethize. I'm making an example. Maybe they could be able to achieve ukuthi benze ama-orphanage amaningi ngoba izakwazi kanje yabo. So yasithinta ama-decision abawenzayo. Sometimes they can't put us ukuthi sibe ngabantu esoba never noma sathi nesoba nombono, but bona babuka ukuthi in future masitshala manje kunzima ukutshala. Uma utshala uyofaka something emhlabathini kunomzima, kunokuhlangana nemivi, kunokuhlangana nenyoka nesamsalima, amadwala, kunokuhlangana namazolo nemvula nela kuwe nelanga liyashisa. But when you are reaping lokho kade ukutshala, then you start to enjoy ukuthi wow, leya mvula yayina, but today I'm enjoying ama-fruit ami since ngiwumuntu owayesebenza kanzima. So i-politics ke is affected ukuthi when they are trying to implement something new, something must be stopped or something must be reduced so that they can save for something else. Because wonke umuntu ezolida uza ne-strategy sakhe and umuntu ne-vision yakhe. I was looking at ama-rallies amaningi on Facebook, mbuka the way they pitch when they are talking to their followers in terms of their vision as they are willing to lead a country. Then siyabona each and everyone unesambulelo sakhe, and you can see ukuthi others are doing so well. Like I was listening to President Julius Malema, esho ukuthi no, their vision is to make sure ukuthi we get imfundo kalula as abantu base South Africa. That will make us, or that will help us with education. You have a lifetime investment of which if unemfundo, no one can take your education away from you, because we fundele. This thing is similar to a driver. When you can drive, no one can tell you not to drive because you can drive. The moment the license akunikeza athi license yakho le ngimali yami, ngisho license yakhe ngayithatha ayishise, but still you have your license. You can go there in public lapha ke ma-office ase transport, then uthole futhi ingo zakho kabusha uqhubeke futhi zikhale. So in that way kusho ukuthi if when it comes to an education, and I was like, this guys, he makes sense. When it comes to education, it's a lifetime investment. It's not a temporary thing. So once you get education, you can prosper, you can do whatever because you know. But if you have lack of education, that means someone should decide for you. But if you have education, even if somebody can decide for you, but it might be 50-50 or it might be 80-20, because you have something that you have and we have options. Sometimes we have no, but we can say no on something. But if you have nothing with you and you are not educated, and someone comes and tell you that to do this, and you will say, yeah, I can do this. Sometimes because you have no option besides saying yes. Ngoba awuna ivelu. So if ungafundanga khasiningi ivelu yakho iyehla. But if ufundile nawe uba nale confidence ebengakuwena phakathi. So iba njalo. So I used to drive with like abantu abahlukahlukene from different countries as I was working for some other company. Ubona ukuthi lo muntu okhuluma naye une-intelligence, and I was busy learning from them with in other countries they are doing such, in other countries they are doing such, and the time they were busy telling me about their stories and I was busy learning. And when I speak to them or if when I speak to one of them, then it's like you are clever, but I can see to get a formal education or to get someone who can teach you in the right manner, then you become better, you gain every now and then, because abantu bahlangana nabo bakutshela izinto njalo. And if ungenayo imfundiso, if you are not being educated to listen to other people, that is part of something that makes us become better in terms of listening to other people, that you need to get taught lo ukuthi it is very important ukuthi ukwazi ukulalela and learn, yabo, because if ungafundisekile umuntu ongafundanga the most of time, especially ke the generation yethu, uma ungafundanga i-future yakhe isingekho right, even communication yakhe isingekho right, because aka understand ukuthi the man anakulalela, yabo, something like that. So it's not in the politicians isindaya lokuthi sometimes benza ama decisions for i-future kodwa decide ukuthi sizosafarisha kwamanje, so baziba, yabo, for now until kuze kubole ukuthi lento sifuna iyenzeke. And also all the time when it comes to education, politicians are the ones who decide ukuthi yipi imfundo efuneka ize eMzansi noma yipi imfundo emeli iphume, yabo. So in that way thina siya affected saying, oh, this was good for us, but they think, yabo, they think on our behalf ukuthi right now in South Africa we wanna introduce this certain type of education. I remember the time there was OBE. You know, we used to analyze this thing in different ways. The old teacher, Baspaga S13. So OBE, there was something before OBE, and even now kept calm and as much good again. But you know, that changes now and then. Who decides or who receives that it's political party. The ruling political party is the one who says, okay, we can use this one. If maybe we call it proposal, no. Remember, there was no math lit. There was mathematics, no math, and there was no math. If you have no math, if you don't want a math, then you can't study math. There was no math lit. But now we have an option: mathematics and mathematics literacy. That means now somebody approved that proposal from somewhere, we don't know what to. Let's just introduce e-math literacy, and then they approved it. Right today, they are learning e-math literacy. But e-math literacy for me, it's similar something like I was learning from grade 3. 1 + 1, 2 + 2. It was so simple. Same at least I can say at least from grade R to grade 7. That is math because we learn it, and it's even more math. So I really know why they bring back in the iPhone that they modify gamma math, but in the iPhone. So somebody offered a proposal for math, and somebody approved. Remember, we not my party. So it's a business in between, not that and also media change. So who changes all of those things? It's politicians. So we must know which again, as we are living under a political country, we'll be always getting affected by politicians, the way they do things. It's either positive or it's negative. Okay, I was just right here with them. How does it affect us as I'm a Christian? When it comes to Christianity, politics affect kanjani. Sometimes they tell us how to speak. We don't have to speak in this way. We must speak in this way. They give us our rights and responsibilities. Even if you trust your religious, they can do this or else it's against this and that, but don't talk like this because you are offending somebody. You see, very affected. And also it affects us in terms of when we are willing to help in now to Wakamasonto. It's not easy for a Christian with the in the Italy Wakamasonto free of charge. You know, it's always a pending, it's expensive, and no one supports. The most of the time, I can say politicians because they are one of the politics. It's really like politics. Politics, I kind of support Amazon the most of the time. You can't just buy equipment for your son, return equipment, go there and enjoy. Because very disciplined. But the most of the time, politics are against in God, especially Christian religions. So, it affects. yabo. It affects, like, look at my rural areas whereby IFP was ruling before. Then we had water running through to our houses, and then ANC came on board. There was no water. We got trucks coming in our community to bring water, but still we have taps. And you don't know what's happened about water. And no one came and called the meeting to tell us, "Look, guys, they are suffering from this and this and this. So therefore, we can deliver or supply water tankers to give you since we are facing this certain problem." No one told us that. It's a part of politics. That's how it affects us. Some others, they come with a new strategy. Some others, they come with a new strategy. Some other strategies affect us in a very bad way. Some others, they are affecting us in a good way. But we are getting affected day by day. There's a lot of things that we are getting affected with by a political career. So I'm urging people, when they are willing to be a politician, I think you should be a loving person and you should be a truthful person. Come to your people, tell them what we are implementing something new that will maybe being approved or be happen in maybe 5 or 6 years coming. Therefore, we are going to struggle from this and this and this, but please be patient. But only to find that no one is telling us what is going to happen. We just see it as it happens, and we can't even complain. As I was complaining earlier on, when it comes to voting, we have only right. Like that's my experience. We have a right to vote. Hence, I understand. Okay, we have a right to vote, and that right is getting prepared more than every right that we have as South Africans. Yes, ayisezosibalela ekamnandi kube nje yakuhlela yonke into, bhalisiswe, check ukuthi sisakhona kwi-voters roll, sihambe sivote. But after voting, I'm telling you, for me, my experience says we have no say at all. I was up and down, even in my town in Ishao, looking up and down, looking for a place where I can start my business, an empty place where I can just put my something to work there. But still, even today I wrote a letter to municipality, no one replied. You see, so that's on my side. That shows I have no way, I have no voice after voting. But I've voted before, but still, no one is responding on what I want to get. So all of those things makes us again politics is affect her sometimes in a bad way, sometimes in a very good way. So as I was saying, Julius Malema was telling us, let's just invest in education, because education, it's a lifetime investment. But it's parcel, this is more or less something that went to good level. But education gives you strength, gives you enthusiasm, and gives you in general to pay our options. Sometimes you can be able to know who you are just because you are educated, just because you are want okay, then now I want, that means me now. I can do this. I can do this. Now I understand what you're my competitions, so that abantu win. That thing of winning, it teaches a lot. I don't know what happened to that education that was given us our tournament. As I was saying, somebody comes and changes the whole thing. Obviously, I'm a politician. All those things that we used to enjoy at school, now they are normal. You don't model now. We have no bioscope. We have no stars in township. We have no tournament. We used to have a lot of tournaments before. All tournaments used to have. But therefore, system came of a new political party. Things have changed. You see, we've seen different things that's kind of happening right now, and we really don't know which zona ziqalwa yini kanjani. But again, having said that, but again, I'm hoping that we are learning as we are listening to car radio, as we are here for you. Which again, politicians really affect us. Really do affect us. So you must be careful and you must learn a lot of things with how do we getting affected. Sometimes again, eating a patient as ngikhuluma nge-patient earlier on ukuthi hey i-patient ibaluleke kakhulu. Be patient with them sometimes ngoba ubone ukuthi hayi kushubileke manje la wanabo bakaxele or else sekuvele sekubhekile sefuna ukuthi kuwa wena ngasingawe uvele ubone ukuthi ungenze njani ukuze impilo iqhubeke phambili. Sometimes kufika lapho ukuthi you as a human being, because uyabona uhulumeni akuhlangabezi ngalutho, just see what you can do. Maybe they are implementing something for future, but sometimes they can't tell us what the plan yabo ithini, and akwazi ukuyibona iplan yabo. So you can't plan concerning ukuthi I'm planning because ngiyazi ukuthi uhulumeni wethu in 2 years to come uzokwenzani. That is another third part that affects us. We don't know what are they up to. Sizikunkulunkulu ngasinikezanga lento ukusibona umuntu ucabanga ukuthi lekhuluma iqiniso noma ngamanga. You just keep on trusting, on hoping ukuthi something good can happen. If it doesn't happen, you have to try by yourself. But there are a lot of things that which is affect ngaleyo ndlela i-politics industry, because it's very bad. And most of them babezofika bafika to vote. After voting, they don't come to the community and tell us, guys, thanks for voting, and from now on we're planning this and this and that, this and this and that, this and this and that. No. So we're getting affected so much. But before we go, because now we are running out of time, let's read the word of God, because that is very important. Today we are reading from Isaiah 40 verse 31. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high in wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. So his strength and his empowering is available to you and me. Right now, we pray that he will lift the load and remove the burdens. So I can say, may you find new strength and be able to run unhindered in his ability. So let's go and trust in him, and he will lift us up. It is 5 o'clock. It's time for me to live, to love and leave you. I can say thanks to Nkosy. Thanks to Sister Pumzile. Thanks to Sister Pumzile as my producer for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this beautiful show. Let's just meet on Thursday as well. Remember, tomorrow there will be a Pastor Ntombi Shezi ngomezulu Shezi simbiza lapha sinake ngo-president injalo nje uzobambela kusasa suka lapha ngo-4 kuya ku-5. So be blessed in this afternoon, and thanks to Nkosy uPhumzile Khumalo. Thanks, bye.